Chunk Game here, coming at you with another episode from ChooseYourRelationships.com, author of Love Can't Wait, which can be found on Amazon.com. And P.S. by the way, before I get started, you can check me out on Instagram. My handle over there is Sharp Game, and check out my website, ChooseYourRelationships.com, for all the gear, the books, all the good stuff over there. Today, man, I'm going to talk about the future of relationships and what that really looked like. You know, what's going to really, there's a lot of changes that's going to be coming upon us, and a lot of stuff that's going on. You see it right in front of our eyes. Technology is really dominating how we interact and have relations with each other today. And I would say if most people don't adapt to a lot of the changes that's going to be affected by way of technology, they're going to get left behind. Because what's going to happen is a lot of these towns, these major cities, some not even major cities, but some of these towns they're revamping towns all over this country. And they're going to turn these towns into mini technology hubs, So it's places in the Bay Area just like that. There's places in the South that's like that. It's towns on the East Coast it's like that. There's towns in the Midwest it's like that. These tech companies are going to really revamp. And these investors, independent investors, are revamping and reinventing these towns. And 9 times out of 10, you're in one of those towns, especially if you're in the East Coast and West Coast. You're in one of these towns. And these towns, these major cities especially, are going to be so expensive to live in for most people. And most people are just not going to be able to afford it. Most people are going to get pushed out. And I see this today. They're going to get pushed out to these smaller suburban towns or smaller suburban neighborhoods. And the only people that are really going to be able to survive and thrive are the creative types, investors, the movers and shakers, the people that are innovators, the trendsetters, the people that are not cheerleaders, so to speak, people that are in the trenches, in the game. These are the people that's going to be able to survive and thrive. And the rest of the people are going to be in these small towns, smaller suburban towns, because it's less expensive out there. And these towns are more than likely going to be an hour and a half, 2 hours out. And that's what's happening where I live right now. You have people where I live that will drive over an hour to come to the city. Hour and a half, 2 hours to come to the city. They'll do that for work. They'll do that in their free time as well. And this is happening all across the country. And this is affecting relationships. It's affecting marriages. In the future, we just gotta admit that the marriages in this country is just failed. Marriages just failed in this country. We have to be honest with that. A lot of people, probably in denial. They think that marriage is going to make a comeback. It's not happening. Marriage is never going to be the way it used to be in this country. There's two reasons for it. Technology, but even before technology, it's something that happened, and I pretty much called it. When they passed that law, when the Supreme Court passed the law that gave homosexuals the right to marry the same sex, I was like, that's it. It's over. What that did is that pretty much created a new pattern. Now what's gonna happen, all those rules and public policies that were on the books for marriages 100, 200, 300 years ago, they're gonna have to take all that off now. Oh, that started like a chain reaction. So they had to take all them rules off the books now. That's over. This is like a new world. People function differently. Plus, you got a lot of the younger people that's coming up now. 17, 18, 20, 21. They're not buying into none of that crap that was passed down to people in my age group. They don't care about your religion. They don't care about your politics. They don't care, they don't care about what church you go to. They don't care where you're from necessarily. The only thing they really care about is, can we get on the same page, for the greater good of whatever they have going on. That's it. They don't care nothing about no religion, none of that crap. They throw all that bullshit out the window, so because a lot of that shit was passed down to us from our parents, at least from my parents. All the old rules of, you're in the South, you can get as big as you can do whatever you want in the South, but you can't get so big. And if you're up north, you can get as big as you want, but don't get too close. All that crap. They don't buy into none of that. And all the rules, like what else? All this other crap I heard when I was growing up, saying if you want the job, don't look the man in his eyes, or you won't get the job, and all that crap. No, young people aren't trying to hear none of that. They'll just tell the young people, just tell them what it is. Just tell them what it is. If you don't like it, so be it. That's what it is. And all that kissing people's ass, the move up the corporate ladder. The young people are not trying to hear none of that shit. They hell with all that. We'll just try to take the whole shit over. One way or another, we're gonna try. And they don't have no fear. There's no fear. They're not afraid of no police. They're not afraid of none of that shit. It's like whatever. That's what's behind us. That's what's coming behind us. These 17, 18, 19, 20-year-olds, they think like this. They get down like this. They don't care about no religion, none of that crap. So all them old rules, they're not buying into no marriage either. Not in the way most of us think about marriage. Not at all. You know, you get in the future, marriage is going to the marriage is going to be like an apartment lease. That's how it's going to be. You're going to have 1 to 2 year contract. And then, if y'all like being together after 2 years, then you re-up a certain amount of years. That's how marriage is going to be, And then within that contract, it's be specifics and what's acceptable, what has to be done, what she should be doing, what you should be doing. And it ain't going to be no entitlement. Just because you got married to the guy, you're entitled to this. No, it's nothing. Everything is earned. And, you get what you earn until proven otherwise. That's what it's going to be. That's where it's going now. That's where it's going. When you hit the 7-year mark, that 7-year mark, that's like the magic number, 7. When you hit the 7-year mark, you re-up again, or y'all go y'all separate ways. And if whatever you came in with, that's what you leave with, unless it's in writing. And we seen some of that. We saw that with we see some of that with these celebrities. Janet Jackson was a good example of that. When she I think she's with the guy 5 years, and she had to be with him for 5 years, and she got $500 million. And after she got $500 million, and by this time she had the baby, and after that, a couple weeks later, she was gone. So he said, as long as family courts exist and continue to shaft folks out of spousal support and child support, marriage rates will continue to fall. Yeah, it has to. It has to fall. It can't keep going like this without falling. I mean, it's like blowing up air in a balloon. Eventually, it's gonna pop. Yeah. So, so marriage is gonna be like contract. What Apple Mac 5? Well, nah, Janet Jackson. I don't think she robbed the dude. I think they had an agreement. It was in their contract. He wanted a child. Obviously, he wanted a child with somebody like her genes, her DNA. So I don't think she robbed him. They had an agreement. Hey, shit. I think he was looking at it like he just wanted a child. I mean, who wouldn't want a baby with Janet Jackson? Her DNA, her genes, her family tree. Come on. You can say that, Apple Mac. You can say that. But we don't know how he was. Exactly. Who wouldn't want a baby with Janet Jackson? No, that's all I'm saying. Now, you can say, as far as the marriage, that maybe Janet kind of robbed him. But, well, yeah, I heard the family is a little crazy. But you got to think about it, Apple Mac. The family, for everything that they've done in the entertainment world, you have to be a little crazy. Think about it. Probably so. They might do have money problems. But if you think about all the successes that they had within the entertainment world, They have to be a little crazy. You cannot be just like everybody else and go on that stage and perform night after night. It can't happen. You kind of have to be out of your mind. But that's where it's going now, man. You got, you know, it ain't going to be, it's not going to be the way it is now. Women won't be able to use the court system like they do now because a lot of the young people are not going to even use the court system at all. They're not going to use the court system at all as much as they used to in the future. They're going to get married either through some states call it a common law marriage, or get a religious marriage, or through just straight up contract. I don't think Janet good in the bedroom either, just like she might not be. She might not be. She might not be Apple Mac 5. I don't know. A lot of them, some of the most attractive women, they're not the best in the sack. You know, it's really got that common law. Yeah, Louisiana, yeah, and Texas. Yep, you're right about that. You know, a lot of when it comes to the most attractive women, it's usually a hit or miss in the sack with them. That's been my experience. Yeah. So that's where it's going now, man. The marriages and just relationships in general, it's never going back the way it used to be. It's not happening. I wrote about this in one of my books. I didn't go that too deep into it, but I knew when Facebook, you really changed the game. Facebook changed the game. Well, let me tell you what Facebook did that, in my opinion, it's not supposed to happen. What Facebook did, man, is open the whole, social, your whole social history up, basically. Because what happened is you got people on Facebook that can actually find you that you went to elementary school with. And you got people that you don't even want to see no more that's on Facebook, and they're finding you. They're searching for you. So that changed everything. You got people. And when Facebook bought Instagram, that's another big change. Now you got women can get attention from everywhere if they're attractive. And not only can they get attention from everywhere, they can make money. They get sponsor deals on Instagram. That changed the economics for women. That women get more attention now. It's hard to really hold a lot of people's attention because of the cell phone. And let me tell you what else is going to change too. And a lot of guys ain't gonna like this, but sex is going to be like automated. It's going to be like, sex is going to be like a job. It's not going to be like, people aren't going to be as passionate about sex anymore as much as they used to be. They're going to treat sex like it's just a business. Not saying it ain't like that in certain environments, but it's going to become almost commercial. Because look at it. You got these sex dolls out here. I think they make them in China. That's what that was for. So, well, not only that, but they got these sex dolls. Dude is buying this shit I think they manufacture them in China and maybe somewhere else. You know, dudes is buying these shit $150, $200 a pop. And then, you know, a lot of these dudes have bought into this shit like, I don't need no woman for sex. I got my sex doll. Come on, man. Come on, man. What's going on out here, man? They're making millions. They're making millions, man. Somebody, I don't know who came out with the sex doll. They started $100. That's the cheap one. Yeah, but they go up to 200. I price one. Yeah. You know what? That might be a good idea, Apple Mac. You might as well try and make a profit. You might as well get in early while you can. Because you know what they say, if you're not first, you're last. They go up to $1,000. I'm not surprised. And then you got some of these sex dolls, they get wet between the legs. Come on, man. Come on, man. Yeah, $20K? God damn. That's too much, man. You're better off spending money on a woman for less than $20K. Come on, man. Well, a lot of these dudes have bought into this madness. That's my point of me bringing this up, man. I just don't. What's the mindset of a guy that thinks like this, that buys a sex doll? He pretty much gave up. I mean, come on, man. Sex dolls don't hurt. Well, yeah, some of them do talk, man. Yeah. Well, some of them do talk, though. I think the higher the price gets, I think the more features, the more the price is. I think that's the idea. But you're right, they can't call rape on you or accuse you of anything. Yeah, they got all kind of nationalities of sex dolls, man. Yeah. So it's like, now I'm gonna tell you what else. There's something else that's gonna come out too with these sex dolls, and is a feature they're testing it out. I heard about it, but I haven't seen the dolls yet. When they program these dolls to go down on these guys, that's gonna start another change. That's gonna create another pattern. It's crazy out here, man. I'm telling you, sex is gonna be automated. That's why think about all these toys that a lot of women have. You have independent distributors are selling toys everywhere. You got the stores, the corner stores. You got these websites. You can buy stuff online anywhere around the world at this point. They got just the ass and vagina you can buy. Yeah. Yeah. They got it all, man. And this stuff is going to change how men and women interact with each other. It's going to be one of those. You're going to have women are asking guys to get married today. Women are proposing to guys today more than ever in history. Think about that, man. You got guys, I don't know who, you got people that are putting up videos on YouTube, Facebook, of women proposing to guys. That's wild, man. Yo, yeah, I know they got it up on eBay. Yeah. You so now you got women are asking guys out now. Women are aggressive like that. They're behaving like men. This is why a lot of women have so many problems when they get older. They're sick. You know, they have all kind of because they burn out because they're taking on a leadership position that's not really made for them. They're not wired like that. They're not wired to go up in a corporate office and work for 20 years and boss people around. You know, they're gonna burn out. Or they won't live very long. They don't usually. Yeah. And a lot of guys, they don't know how to handle that, man. A lot of guys don't know how to handle it if a woman asks them out. A lot of guys don't know how to handle if a woman approaches them in public. A lot of guys think that's weird. They don't know how to take that shit. Yeah, man, you know, it's just a lot of changes out here that's coming down. Of course, it's a setup. It's a setup for failure in society. That's why you have people capitalizing off of marriages, divorce court. See, marriage was never for the common man and common woman in the first place. We just wanted to get involved in something because we saw how our parents and grandparents and great grandparents married. So we look at them like if they did it, I want to do it too. But it was never for the common man and common woman in the first place. And kids, this is another big thing. Having kids is expensive anyway. It don't matter where you get the women from. If you bring them over here, it's the same shit. If you bring it's like this. Wherever you get married to a woman at, you got to deal with what's going on in that environment. You're going to have to navigate what's going on in that environment. It don't matter where the woman's from. Regardless of her values, 9 times out of 10, she's going to pick up some of what's going on in society. So if she come over here from another country, 9 times out of 10, she's going to become Americanized. You can't stay in no environment. You can't stay around a group of people without picking up some of their attitudes, their way of being, their language, etc. It's impossible. And kids is very expensive anyway, but it's going to be even more expensive to have kids. And kids was never for the common man and common woman either. Kids are for wealthy people. Ain't nobody said nothing about kids. Rent kids for a week and send them back to the store where you. Oh yeah, they never well, you know what? They never mentioned kids. You know why? Because they don't care about kids in this country. They don't care about kids. This is the only country that I know of in the world that blame the kids when they don't get a good education. This is the only country I know of that does that shit. They don't do that anywhere else. The parents don't get blamed for anything. The kids get all the blame. No doubt, Apple Mac. Kids are just a means to an end. Yeah, they use the kids basically as leverage. Kids are just debt to society. That's all. That's all it is. That's all kids are used for today. Some of these, you can, if you look at some of these mothers and fathers, especially the mothers, if you see how they function around the kids, if you see what they do to the kids, you be like, you don't care about these damn kids. I mean, it just, most of the time, shit is just for show. When it comes to a lot of these so-called parents. Yeah, Amber Rose, she's a good, I don't know, shit. I don't really follow Amber Rose. I don't really know. I don't really know much about her, really. I just knew she met Kanye and met a couple of these other guys. She was a stripper. I don't really know much about her, to be honest. You know. But, you know. She used her hustle box. That's all. That's all. That's all I know. I don't know. But yeah, man, and if you can't communicate, if you're a bad communicator, if you don't know how to interact with people, if you have bad social skills amongst people, man, it's going to be a struggle for you. I don't care what platform you're using. I don't care if you're online or offline, but if you have bad social skills, man, you're going to really struggle out here in the future. I think you come out cheaper if you go the escort route. But how many times are you going to keep going the escort route, Apple Mac Pie? I mean, is it only about sex? Escorts is expensive, man. What up, D670? Escorts is expensive, man. You paying hundreds and thousands of dollars. You'll pop and go. No, get the $50 escort plan. Where they do that at? $50 escort plan. Man. I don't know. Man, you're better off. You're better off taking a girl out to the club and bringing her back home. $50. I mean, hey, man. I mean, you got to have the gift of gab, man. Yeah, in Atlanta, yeah. I live in the Atlanta area. If you got the gift of gab, man, got a little charm, a little charisma. That's all you need here, man. That's all you need here in the ATL. Strip club? Oh no, I don't do strippers. Nah, I don't do strippers, man. Club costs too much. I ain't got time to talk. Yeah, the clubs is expensive here. You're right about that. I was telling somebody about that. I was telling somebody about that a couple days ago. I was telling, man, you can party here, but that shit's expensive here. Yeah, strip club. I don't do strippers. I know a lot of strippers, but I don't do the strippers, man. Strippers, most of them strippers, man, they do a lot of drugs and abuse alcohol, and they done ran through so many guys. And it's really hard to trust a lot of them girls. You know, they'll set dudes up, get them robbed and all kind of shit. So I don't trust strippers, man. I don't trust them. You know. And I know a lot of strippers personally. You know, we got a good relationship. I have a good relationship with strippers, but I don't trust them. You know, I'm gonna hang out at the food stamp office and catch me some chicks. Yeah, you might be able to catch them out there, Apple Man. Yeah, that's why I try not to go to the store the first week of the month. The grocery store was packed, boy. Damn. And you go to the store, you see them girls, the buggy full up with food. Yeah. Out here, man, full up with food. I'm like, damn. Yep. 1st and 15th. Yep. That first week of the month and the middle of the month, them 2 weeks, man, all the food gone. I'm like, damn. I mean, the buggy full up, man, full up of food. I'm like, damn. All kind of women too. You know, especially here in the ATL, all kind of women on food stamps. I mean, you go downtown Atlanta, all the way to Alpharetta, wherever. I'm like, damn. You know? Yeah, man, it's a lot of change gonna come out here, man. You know, and a lot of people, unfortunately, gonna get left behind because they don't want to change. A lot of people want things to stay the same, but it's not gonna happen. And the reason why it's not gonna happen because a lot of these tech companies are going to push the change. They're gonna buy people out, and they're gonna get these politicians in their back pockets. So they're going to push the change through big businesses like Amazon, Google, Facebook, Microsoft, Twitter. And it's going to be some more companies that's coming behind these companies. They're going to push new public policies. Yeah, they're going to push public policies in this country. And it's going to change relationships forever. And what women are going to do when the jobs go away? That's what I want to know. A lot of these jobs are going to become automated. And what these women are going to do? What do you think they're going to do, Apple Mac? A lot of these women, they got that cushy job now. What do you think they're going to do when these jobs go away? Yeah, they're going to use the hustle box. Yeah. A lot of these jobs are going to be automated. And then you're going to have universal income because it's just not enough jobs for everybody. So the United States of America is truly going to become a welfare state when that happens. When people start getting universal income. Because people have to keep spending money in this country for the economy to stay afloat. So if people if there aren't enough jobs in this country, it's only one thing left to do. To keep the money coming in so people can spend, you have to give them monthly income. And this is gonna happen. People are already looking at it right now. These guys behind these big tech companies, they're going to push all of this shit that I'm talking about right now. Can't use Craigslist no more. Trump messed that up. Oh, you're talking about the personal section on Craigslist. Yeah, you got to keep going to war too. Yeah. Well, you know what? They go to war because that's just to steal the resources, take control of the resources. That's all that's really about. Really, it ain't about no freedom. It ain't about no freedom. It's about taking control of the resources. That's all that's about. And why did they change? Why did they take the personal section of Craigslist off Apple Mac? I heard about Craigslist, but I don't know why they made the change. Yeah, what's the new law? I didn't hear about it. Said the website owners are now responsible for anything illegal that somebody does on this site. Whoa. Oh, okay. Wow, that's a big change. Wow. See, it wasn't like that before. Before, a lot of these websites would say they're not responsible for any activities that occur while you're the user. But now they changed that. Oh, okay. So that makes sense. That makes sense. Well, D670 said more AIDS in the US. D670, there's something else that's much worse than AIDS. It's cancer. It's an epidemic in this country. Cancer and diabetes, especially cancer. This shit is like crazy in this country. It's much more worse than AIDS than ever before. Cancer. I bet they won't mess with Backpage. You know why? I don't know why. Why you say that, Apple Mac? Because Goldman Sachs makes money off that. Oh, really? I didn't know that. How do they make money off Backpage? They got shares in Backpage or what? I wouldn't be surprised. You never know who owns or got shares in any of these. Oh, they got shares. So I didn't know that. So yeah, that makes sense. They're not gonna touch that. I think the guy that owns Craigslist, he's just a regular dude. Really. He's just a guy that's in San Francisco. He's just a regular guy that got like a little small office. Really. He ain't. Nobody knows who he really is. The guy that owns Craigslist. He's just a little guy that in San Francisco got a little small office suite. Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if he did if he did use Backpage. I doubt it. I would think somebody like him would probably have somebody else to make the calls. The Village Voice is connected to Backpage. And Goldman Sachs is invested in the Village Voice. Hey, what's the Village Voice? I never heard of that. What's that about? And Goldman Sachs, they own so much shit. God damn. It's crazy. It's crazy how much shit that they own and have shares in. It's a paper out of New York. Oh, okay. Got you. Yeah, man, but it's it's gonna be a new time, man. You know, and this is one of the reasons why I started my new channel, the Deja Bailout Plan, because I've been telling people like 10 years ago that I said, look, and in the future, your 2 incomes ain't gonna be enough in your household. And I told people that, and they thought I was crazy. And I told people when a lot of these, when Facebook came about, and but even before Facebook, I remember when MySpace came out. That's how long I've been on the internet. I remember when MySpace came out. I used to meet people off of MySpace and black on off of Black Planet back in the day. And then that's when Facebook came out, but no one was really on it. Very few people. That was Facebook was like an underground college website back in the day. And then YouTube came out. And then shortly after that, Google came out. And then shortly after that, Google bought YouTube. Justin Timberlake now is a major investor in MySpace. Really? Why? Oh, eBay owns like 30% of Craigslist. Oh, okay. So yeah, you got like, I saw the change coming. He invested years ago. Okay. Yeah, I saw the changes coming like way in advance, man. Really. I saw it, man. I mean, because a lot of people that are using a lot of these sites, they haven't really figured out how to do it, how to capitalize off of it. Really. Most people haven't figured it out yet. Even a lot of these entertainers, they haven't really figured it out yet. Even a lot of investors, they haven't really figured it out yet. And you have sites like Facebook, Amazon, Google, YouTube, Bing, Yahoo. Check this out. You know where Amazon got the idea to sell groceries? No, I don't. I know they bought Whole Food. So they probably got it, that probably was something they thought about. I know they bought Whole Foods. It's because Amazon is not the first company that tried that. There was another guy that tried it, but it failed. There was another guy that tried to do it like 5 years ago, and it didn't work out. So maybe Amazon got the idea from that guy. I don't remember his name. No, this was years ago, back in the 90s. Oh, no, I don't know. What it is. Uh-huh. Webvan. Yeah. That's a unique name, Webvan. But they were the first where you can order groceries online and have it delivered to your house for a flat fee of $9.99. Well, okay. So people tried to do that a long time ago. That's used. So that's. I guess that's kind of a. I don't even think they're ready for that on the East Coast. Food delivery over here. I don't know if people are ready for that over here. I know they. That's mostly like it's a West Coast thing, really. I stopped going to the store for over a year. Really? So where you order through? Oh, you let other people do it. Okay, yeah, you can do that. I know some people that do that. But then you got some people, and even me, I'm like real particular about my food. I like it to look a certain type of way. You know what I mean? They went bankrupt. Oh, well, I don't think people, especially in the 90s, shit. I remember in the 90s, man, late 90s, and I'm going to say early 2000, people thought the internet was like, kind of like a fad. Early 2002, people thought the internet was like a fad. Like, if you told someone you was on Facebook, like 2005, if you told someone you was on Facebook, or told someone you was on MySpace, they would look at you kind of strange. Like, hey, that stuff is for young kids, young college kids. They would look at you like, you're doing something you shouldn't be doing. You said they tried to expand too fast. Yeah, that usually happens, with some companies. Yeah, and that's another thing. You gotta in the future, you gotta get around believers. It's two types of people. You got believers and you got non-believers. And the non-believers, they don't think anything's possible. Everything you present to them, they're gonna say, "Oh, it don't work." I don't believe you. Oh, it's too much work. Uh, so you gotta. There's no time to. There's no time to waste around people that that just don't have your best interests anymore. That's pretty much over. Just hanging around people just because they're cool and you know you just want to waste time, and them days is pretty much over. There's no time for any of that no more. Really. Hanging around people just because you like them and all that jive talk. They built high faculties before they had a customer base to support itself. Now that's stupid. A lot of people do that. People go buy business cards and go buy all these supplies and buy the office suite and don't have one client, no customers. That's just stupid. That's just stupid. Don't even have one client, not even one customer, not even one contract. And you done spent millions of dollars in most cases. That's just stupid. That's just stupid. You know, I mean, on a massive level, it's stupid. Even on a macro level, it's stupid. I mean, I get people ask me for advice all the time when it comes to this. Hey, how do you start uh, a part-time business online, or a part or a side hustle? How do you start it? I said before you start everything, at least have a proven concept. At least have something that someone would be willing to take money out of their pocket and buy from you. If you don't have that, don't go spending hundreds and thousands of dollars on supplies and cards and brochures and websites and all kinds of nonsense that people be doing. I just don't. That's just hustling backwards. It really is. But I know there's a lot of bad information out here. So that's why a lot of people are so confused, about how to do anything. A lot of people are confused out here. They'll listen to somebody that never had no experience or never done anything that they're talking about. Which that's crazy. I mean, why would you listen to somebody that have no experience, no proven concept of anything that they've done? All they're doing is basically giving you theory. That's like a professor at a college. That's what that's like. A professor at a college teaching you something at the board, and he or she ain't never done it before. That's what that's like, man. But hey, I mean, those are people that, people trust those people. Most of those people, they trust them because they look the part. They're the trusted experts. Don't leave. You coming back this year. I'll probably be here when you get back. You never know. There's a lot of people like that. There's a lot of people like that in Atlanta, Apple Mac 5. People that I meet all the time. They claim they claim that they done this or done that, or I'm doing this and doing that. Until I get to know them, and they really haven't done anything. They haven't even gotten started. But they want me to do all the work for them. Hell no. I'm not doing anybody's work for them. I'll show them how to do it, but I'm not doing it for them. There's a lot of smoke and mirrors here. That's why, but it's like this in a lot of big cities, though. It ain't just Atlanta. As you go to New York, it's the same thing. You got a bunch of fast talkers, and everybody's running schemes and scams. You go to Chicago, same thing. You go to Miami, same thing. I tell you, these big cities, it just breeds chaos. Because the cost of living is so high. It's so expensive to live in these towns. And it's only going to get more expensive. It's not going to get cheaper. And technology has a lot to do with it. Even the small towns are starting to get more expensive here in America. So think about that. The small towns, at one point, you used to could live pretty cheap in the smaller towns and live good for less. But in a lot of these small towns, you can't even do that no more. In a lot of these small towns have become expensive as well. Especially if you live near a beach town. I'm telling you. If you live in near a town with a beachfront, them towns is very expensive. That's where I'm from. I'm from a beach town. It's expensive to live in them beach towns. You gotta drive, man. You gotta drive. The prices really don't drop. You gotta drive like 30 to 45 minutes, maybe an hour away from the ocean front if you want to really live good for less. But if you're in a city, you don't have that luxury. You really can't escape the prices. You're going to have to drive way out. Hour and a half, 2 hours out in most cases. And when it comes to the concept of family in America, that's going to change too. You know, that's going to change. The whole idea of having a family in America is going to change. Because a lot of younger people, they're not even buying into going to college as much as they used to. A lot of young people are not buying into none of that shit. None of it at all. Because you got 17-year-olds, 16, 17, 18-year-olds. They're making $10,000, $20,000 a month. Mostly online. So it's pretty hard to tell a 17, 18-year-old that's making $10,000, $20,000 a month that they got to go to college. You know, they're going to be like, why? This doesn't make any sense. Why should I have to go to college? I'm already making bank. So that's what's going on out here. And you got people that's in these small towns that you never heard of making $5,000, $10,000 a month. I mean, let me tell you something, man. If you can think about it. If you make an extra $1,000 a month, if the average person make an extra $1,000 a month, that changes their lives. So think about if you got some young kid that makes $5,000 a month, along with his parents working. Think about how that changes the game. That's what's going on out here. And you got women, they're making money now. So a lot of women feel empowered. But see, a lot of these women are going to lose their jobs. Because a lot of these jobs that we know of today, they're going to go away. They won't exist anymore. They're going to be automated. So a lot of women are going to, I'm going to predict a lot of women are going to be submissive when that happens. They're going to become very submissive. They're not going to feel empowered as much as they did before. See, because what happens is, the money is their power, which is a mistake. You know, it shouldn't be like that, but they fall for it every time. They're gonna use that also, but yeah, no doubt about it, Matt. They fall for it every time. You know, the money shouldn't be their power, but they fall for it, and they're gonna use that against them, which it happens almost every time. They always fall for it. You know. The hustle box is the power? Nope. Apple Mac, no. The hustle box ain't their power. They can only do that but so long. When they get older, that don't work. That don't work when they get older, Apple Mac. When they get older, it don't even matter. It did anybody then. Yeah, they'll date anybody. It don't even matter because nobody's gonna be checking up on them like that. So they can't even use that. They can't use the hustle box when they get older. They can try, but it ain't gonna work as well. That works when they're young, 20s, 30s, 40s, tops, 45 tops. And if she better be looking good at 45 too, or that might not work at all. You know, but when they get late 40s, 50s, that don't work that well at all because they're not getting them looks. They still got them fake $100 bills spitting out at ATM and ATM. Well, you can get away with a lot of things here in Atlanta, but that ain't gonna work outside of Atlanta though. There's a lot of stuff you can get away with here in Atlanta, but most other places that shit ain't gonna work. Like if you leave here and you go to Charlotte, North Carolina, with the same mindset, same schemes, a lot of that shit ain't gonna work in Charlotte. It's not gonna work. I mean, like if you take a big booty chick here in Atlanta, maybe she's a strong 7, and if she go to Charlotte, she might not get a lot of play like that because that ain't a big. See, this is a big booty town. This is an ass town. But if you go to Charlotte ain't no big booty town. It ain't really like that. A lot of them tricks, that shit ain't gonna work. And if you're an older woman going to some place like Charlotte, you ain't gonna get play like that. Because a lot of them dudes ain't looking for no older woman. They ain't trying to get with no older woman there. They're looking for the younger women. But here, if you're an older woman, you can still do pretty well if you keep your looks up. I mean, I know women that's 40s, 50s, 60s. They can compete with some of the younger girls here in Atlanta. But they got to keep their looks up. They got to stay in shape, work out, dress well, and they can pretty much mingle and do their thing. They can use their sexuality to finesse relationships and do their thing. But these same 50, 60-year-old women, if they go to Charlotte, man, a lot of that shit ain't going to work, man. It's just not going to work. I mean, she'll get play, but them dudes ain't going to really spend a lot of time around her like that. This is why a lot of those women that I knew in Charlotte, they came here and they left. They went back because they realized that shit just got old. And a lot of them older women don't have the energy they used to have when they were younger. So a lot of them little games that they play, that shit ain't gonna work everywhere. I mean, if you're a young girl, yeah, dudes will put up with that shit because they want sex. But if you're an older woman trying to do the same thing that the young girls is doing, and dudes are not gonna put up with that. They'll cut you off, tell you shut the hell up. Well, yeah, I didn't. I mean, I know them, Apple Mac. I know women that's 60 years old here, and they still get a bunch of play from a lot of dudes. But but if they go to a smaller town or probably just a different town, they're not gonna get play like that. A lot of them tricks, a lot of them games that a lot of women play to manipulate guys, that shit ain't gonna work. This is why a lot of women flock to big cities. Because they know a lot of them tricks they have up their sleeve, it's gonna stick, it's gonna work because it's a numbers game. That's why a lot of women don't like smaller towns, because a lot of these women, to be honest, they don't have no personality. They're not really fun to be around. I mean, you can't. It's not fun to talk to a lot of these women out here today. It's just people in general. I mean, you can't. So it's like fish in a barrel. If you're in a big city, I mean, if you go to a smaller town, there's less people. So it's like I only have but so many people to talk to. Plus, if I'm a lame, I'm going to get found out real quick because it ain't but so many places to go to. So if you're lame, if you ain't shit, the word is gonna get around real fast. Or if you loose, the word is gonna get around real fast. If you're in a city, you can run through people on one side of the town until they get tired of you or until you get tired of them. And then you can go on the other side of the town. That's on the east side. That's completely different. Nobody knows you. Never seen you before. You never been to this spot before. And start all over again. You can do that here in Atlanta. Exactly. And the women never need a personality until they get older. That's when they're going to need it. And the ones that don't develop their personality, they're going to be alone. They're going to end up alone in most cases. They're going to end up alone by themselves. And they're going to be sitting around blaming people for why they ended up in the situation they ended up in. That's why a lot of women don't like small towns, because they know that they're lame. Really, they have no personality. There's nothing about them that a guy wants to. People don't want to be around them long term or for a long period of time. With a bunch of tattoos on there. Yeah, there's a lot of women out. There's a lot of women that got tattoos. See how they look when they get old. See how they look when they get old. If they make it, some of these women are not going to make it when they get old. The way it's going now, a lot of these women have so many illnesses. Shit, they can't even make it to 40 without getting sick. They're popping antidepressants. They're popping some type of pills that you don't know about. She ain't never going to tell you. Until later, So some of these women are really a liability. It don't sound good. But some of these women are liabilities. Really. I mean, they're liability when they're young. Damn. Come on, man. That's sad. I mean, my mom lived to be 83 and my grandmother lived to be 102. And they wasn't sick at all. They had no diseases. So how the hell you can't make it to 40? Damn. That's kind of sad, man. That's just my perspective. That's what I think. Some guys will probably see it different. Some guys will probably say, hey, 40 is good. So think about this now. So if you meet a woman today, let's say you have no kids, you want a kid eventually, right? It's best to have a kid early with a woman. Our grandma gonna explain to the grandkids that I don't know. I don't know, man. See, I don't even think a lot of these women think long term, Apple Mac. They just be living their life. They're not even thinking about the long term consequences. But as I was saying, man, if you're a man and you want kids today, you gotta have kids early. I mean, as soon as you meet within the first year or two of meeting a woman. If she's in her 20s, if you planning on being with her long term, because if by the time these women get in they like mid-30s, they have medical problems. High blood pressure, some are diabetic, some cervix cancer, all kinds of shit. Some have diseases. There's some diseases out here, man, I never heard of. I never heard of some diseases that a lot of these women have, man. It's crazy. Cancer is like epidemic in this country. And don't forget about the drugs, too. That's another thing. What, opium? It's wiping people out all across this country. Fibro, yeah, exactly. I don't even know what that shit's about, Apple Mac. I just started hearing about that like last year. So I know a couple women just started having them spontaneously. I'm like, and then I was like, yo, a lot of women got this shit. What's the cause of it? So if you get with a woman, man, long term, and she gets sick on you, I mean, either you're gonna take care of her or you're gonna leave. But if she keep getting sick, you can't have no baby with her. That's just what it is. I mean, if she's a diabetic, that's too much of a risk to have a baby with a diabetic. Or if she has something like cancer, same thing. It's a lot of risk there. So it's like, it's like you got to have kids with these women early. You got to catch them in their 20s. Oh, no, I knew girls in Cali like 15 years ago with fibroids. Damn. Well, I'm just saying that's when I found out about it last year. I didn't know very much about it. I didn't know much about it until last year. The women that's around me started catching it. Women that's back at home, women that's in North Carolina. Because the food is different today. Food is very different. You know, the water is no good, and it's a lot of fast food spots that people go out to, man. Yeah, there's fast foods out here like crazy, and people eat any goddamn thing. Which, food has a lot to do with how people look and how they act. They say you are what you eat. I know that's a cliche statement, but it's really true. And the drugs, man, it's crazy, man. You got some women out here that's on that powder. You know that. You know that's just what it is. They banned Nestle water. Nestle water. Why? But you got some women that's on that powder, and you know what's crazy? Some of the most attractive women that I've met are on that powder. I don't know how the hell it happens that way. But it always seems like the most attractive women are on the powder. It causes health problems. Well, what's the difference between that water and the rest of these waters out here, Apple Mac? What's the difference? I don't drink it. I never had it. Well, that's all the bottles. The plastic, yeah, that's all the bottles, from what I've heard, based on the study that I've seen. Because they say if the bottles sit in a warehouse, the longer the bottles stay in a warehouse, it's going to integrate with the plastic along with the water. Yeah, you're right, Jack. Yeah, that's true. But that's going to be determined upon how long it's been in the warehouse, how long it's been sitting, or how long it's been sitting in the store too. No, not at all. Not everybody, Apple Mac, but it just depends how long the water's been sitting in the warehouse. So everything is pretty much toxic out here. The food, the water, and then you got a lot of drug use. That's going on, man. All I know is your videos are great. I'm black and I'm learning Japanese, trying to go to the U.S. Well, where you live at? Where you live at, Jack? I want to teach English in Japan for my own small bit. You want to teach English in Japan? Shit. How much money you trying to make teaching English? No, I'm in the U.S. Oh, you're in the U.S. How much money you trying to make in the U.S.? I hope you're not going to Japan thinking that you're going to make a lot of money teaching English, Jack. If that's the case, you can forget about it. Now, if you want to go to Japan, that's great. But don't go there under the assumption that you're going to make a lot of money. Yeah, that's exactly how much you're going to get. Just enough to live. That's it. It's not a lot of money in teaching English in Japan. Not the way it used to be. If you make, I'm going to put it like this, Jack. I heard it was demand for it if you know what you're doing, but want to own shit, not work for some else. Yeah, it's always a demand for English in Japan. I think it's always going to be like that because Japan is one of them weird countries where you know they actually teach them English in school, but they don't retain it. It's kind of a weird thing. If you walk around Japan in certain outside of Tokyo, you have a hard time trying to find anybody that speak English outside of Tokyo. It's kind of a weird thing, you know. It's the only first world country that I know of that English is not spoken very much outside of Tokyo. It's weird. So if you get lost, it seems like most of the English teachers they are losers, and I'm not on that. Yeah, it's a lot of that. It's a lot of that, Jack. Yeah, a lot of them go over there. I'm learning how to read. Uh, oh, that's good. You learn how to read it, man. You know. But yeah, it's a lot of that over there. It's a lot of people that go over there. Uh they want the Japanese girls or the Japanese people to roll out the red carpet for them. So a lot of those loser type dudes is over there. They going over there just because of that. You know. So it's that mentality. It exists over there. I'm not bullshitting, but I'm a get free pussy now. I'm in shape. I'm gonna bust my ass to get my face up there. Yeah, I mean you. I mean, if you go over there, man, you can enjoy yourself. You can make some good relationships over there. No doubt about it, man. Shit, I meant not think. You can go over there. You can make some good relationships. You can get to know some pretty decent people. Yeah, that's been my experience being over there, and I still know people that's over there to this day. So I don't think you won't have any problems, Jack. Nah, you'll be good to go, man. Japan is very most Japanese girls are very shy. So if you speak the language, if you can speak the language, and you'll be okay. You know, you'll be okay. You have an advantage if you can speak the language fluent. I can't speak fluent. I speak just enough to get by, but I can understand. I understand a lot. Plus, I play instruments, so push comes to shove. I use that somehow. Bussums, sax late at night. Yeah, there's a lot of people that do that over there, Mac. Jack. A lot of people that do that over there. Yeah, you know, you just I would say if you get to know the right people over there, you have an advantage. If you speak Japanese, you have an advantage. So you have a lot of things in your favor already. That's what I would say about that. But you have to keep an open mind when you go to Japan. Gotta keep an open mind. Japan has changed a lot. It's not the way it used to be when I was over there. It's changed a lot. What's up with the section of the red light district that have the underage girls in Catholic school uniforms? I don't know, man. I don't know, Apple Mac. I don't know what's up with that. To be honest, shit, I don't know, man. That's just they do their thing, man. You know, I don't know. Yeah, Chinese is hard to learn. Then plus, I saw in a documentary. Plus, if you go to China, that might be a little difficult, Jack. And Chinese people, they're socialized very different than Japanese. Japanese are very uh laid back and can be passive aggressive sometimes. But the Chinese, they're not passive aggressive, not really at all. They're like they got something to say, they'll just say it. And they have this and they're kind of I would say they're like whitewash in China too. They the lighter you are, they put you on the pedestal. The darker you are, you're probably going to get mistreated over there. So just be aware of that if you decide to go to China. There's some of these athletes they moved over there, but they have high status. They have high status, so they're gonna roll out the red carpet for them because China is a capitalistic country, so they look at the athletes, entertainers like they can help us make more money for the city or for the town or for whatever cause. So, they look at the status and the who you are. They take that shit serious over there in China. See, they don't have no status quo over in these other countries like they do here. See, a lot of people over here will go to places like China and Japan and India and Thailand and the Philippines and shit, even Canada. I mean, Canada is still North America, but they go to places like Toronto and they get caught off guard because they think that other people follow the same status quo or follow the same code of conduct like we do here in America. But no, that's not the case. People in these other countries, they say what's on their mind. Now Japan, they kind of like, they kind of passive aggressive with it. They if they got something to say, they really won't say it. They'll just cut you off or you won't ever see them again. But these other countries, no, they don't work like that at all. If they don't like you, they'll come out and tell you in so many words. So just be aware of that when you go to these other countries. That's all I'm saying. But I would say going to Japan is it's a good learning experience if you're young. If you're in your early 20s or whatever, you know. I would be comfortable. If I had a son that's like if my son was like 20, I don't know, 19, 20, 21, I would feel comfortable with my son going to Japan. It'll be a good experience for him, you know, to you know, just see the world, something different. But I would be comfortable with my son or daughter going to Japan. I wouldn't be worried at all. But some of these other countries, hell no. Hell no. There's places in America I'm not ever going to go. Shit. I'm just saying. It's not safe in Philly. I never been to Philly before. The U.S. is lame in general for us, I think. Yeah, I agree with that, Jack. For most of us, yeah. I study history a lot. After I got out of the Navy and came back to America. So I think you're right, Jack. There's a lot of lies that have been told, for us just existing in this country. So, but when you go somewhere else and when you learn what's really going on over here, you start to see the world different. You start to see yourself different. You start to see your family different. You start to see everything different. And that's what it is, And you realize how once I started to study history, I started to see how these countries came about, how the people, certain groups of people came about, how certain languages came about, all that good stuff. I'm almost 30, and I'm only now at the point where I figured out everything in this place is bullshit, and said it took that long, but better late than never. At least I don't have kids. But Jack, it took me longer than that, Jack. It took me I was 35. I was 35 once I learned that once I learned what really happened to my parents, my grandparents, and my great grandparents on both sides of my family. Once I learned what happened and how we came about as a family, you just learn that, look, it's just a bunch of the whole entire United States of America was built on lies. And they still lying today. And you don't even have to. Today, you don't even some people out here, they're not even lying about it no more. Some people today are just coming out and telling you. I was with a guy, I was at the bar 2 days ago. And I got in a conversation with a guy, and I told him, I said, yo, I asked him where he was from. He said he's from New Mexico. And I said, hey, I know. I said, so I said, hey, you been to Vegas? And he was like, nah, that's kind of a long ride, right? So I said, how long is Idaho? Like Boise, Idaho. And he said, shit, that's a long ride too. He said, that's about, I think 14-hour drive. And so I told him I was going to Boise. And he was like, yo, you better not go out there. There's a lot of white supremacist groups out there. So you got people today, they're not even hiding what's really going on across this country no more. Some people just tell you. That didn't happen like that until Trump became president. I didn't have white people tell me just volunteer information like that. That didn't happen in my entire life. I never had that experience before. I usually had to ask for information. Now people are volunteering information, and they still lying. To a certain extent, people are still lying, but You got some people that they'll voluntarily tell you shit. You know, I'm like, damn, appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah. Because what's happening, Jack, is the people that got it, they got it. And the people that don't, they know they're in trouble. So that has a lot to do with it, Jack. And see, they see a lot of these people that are volunteering information, that are protesting, that are kind of going against the grain. They know at a certain on certain levels that they're fighting an uphill battle too, but they still feel like they're better than you. They know they don't got $1 million. They know they don't got the means and the income, and they know they're not living the life that they really want, and they're not living probably in the location that they really want. A lot of these people have had to downgrade their way of living. That's why a lot of these guys are going to places like China, Thailand, Vietnam, Japan, because that's only getting worse. Say some shit was a straw that broke the camel's back because not it was about that shit. Yeah, a lot of these guys are going overseas because their parents can't take care of them as much as they used to. They can't do it. See, the trick, let me tell you what the trick is. What the trick was. See, nobody's doing anything out here by themselves on a massive level that's successful. Nobody's doing it by themselves. Well, them churches, the preachers, they've been doing that shit. Apple Mac. They've been doing that shit fucking 100 years ago. That's nothing new, Apple Mac. They've been doing that shit. Pastors been giving politicians money. That's nothing new. I'm just leaving the city. I ain't leaving the country. Be like, us, work hard, don't be lazy. Yeah, that's the trick that they use. They tell you to bootstrap, work hard, save your money, and all this crap. But they're not doing none of that shit. Look, how do you think Facebook became Facebook? You think he bootstrapped anything? How do you think Amazon became Amazon? You think they bootstrap anything? Hell no. Bootstrap what? Please. You think Donald Trump ever had to bootstrap anything or start any business from scratch? Hell no. And he's horrible too. My computer acting out. Mark's still fit. I don't know. Yeah, he stole the concept. I heard. And the ideas and the designs in the beginning. But he had the money. He had access. He had access to money. Millions of dollars. Trump granddad. Yeah, he was a pimp and a slave owner. And what else he did? He sold bootleg liquor. Then they were down with the Klan. They're like one of the top. I think his dad was a what? A top Klan leader or something like that. High ranking type dude. Yeah, that's how the Kennedys that's how they got so wealthy. Yeah, most of them did dirt back in the day. That's you can't look. You cannot become wealthy in this country. I'm talking like back then. This is the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. You cannot become wealthy during that time without doing some type of dirt. You cannot. It's impossible. I mean, look. There's no tech. Wasn't no tech companies back then. Yeah, they backed everybody. Yeah, but they tell us, hey, you gotta work hard, bootstrap. You come on. Give me a break. And then a lot of these people, some of these people I know, they waiting on their grandparents to die so they can collect the money. Or they waiting on their parents to die so they can collect the money. Yeah, Apple Mac. There's nobody. Look, if you want to do anything, if you want to make a power move, you're gonna need a team of people. 2 to 5 people. You're gonna need at least 2 to 5 people. You can't do everything by yourself. Now they're about to get rid of the EBT cards, claiming kids on taxes. Shit about to get real. They work together against us. Hell yeah, they work against us. You got people that come over here from other countries, bro. As soon as they get here, they working against your ass. That's how they got it set up. You got guys that's why I always tell guys, you got to be careful with these other women that come over here. Because when they come over here, they're working against your ass. And some of these guys will get with these other women, they'll date them, live with them, get married to them, and they've been against them the whole goddamn time. So it's like you're sleeping with the enemy. You can't do everything by yourself. It's impossible. Now, you might be a good salesman, good strategist, good marketing, you might have a certain skill set that you do well, but you still cannot do everything. It's impossible. You're gonna have to either outsource for help, get interns, or pay people to do stuff, or pay people to teach you, whatever. But you're not gonna be able to do everything by yourself. I know that for a fact. I tried. That shit don't work. That's part of the reason why most people don't really do very much in life, because they don't have the support. They don't have the support. That's what it is. That's why most guys, they don't really do very much. It's not because they're lazy, not because they don't want to do it. They just don't have the support. They don't have the right people around, and they don't have the right people. They have dream killers around them. They don't have people. They don't have people around them that's going to encourage them. They have people around them that's going to talk them out of doing the shit in most cases. How'd you lose your website? So most people, they don't really have the support structure in place. They got married to the wrong person, or moved in with the wrong person, or got some girlfriend that they've been with the whole time. The whole relationship is it caters to her every need. He panders to her. So if the whole relationship is developed around her, how the hell the guy supposed to do anything? That shit ain't gonna work. I mean, if it's all about the woman and not about the family, you can't build nothing like that. I mean, you gotta trust somebody to a certain extent. I mean, you don't gotta let nobody. Well, what kind of website was it, Apple Mac? And I didn't know everything. What kind of website was it? Oh shit! Let the guys in India work on your site. Oh boy, man, I've heard some horror stories about guys in India um working on websites. Even I got a horror story for you. I like this is like 2013. No, 2000. No, this is 2011. 2011, late 2011. I was actually getting a dating website done, right? And I went on this site. Well, today it's called Upwork.com, but back then it was called Odesk.com. And I must have paid $2,000 at the time. And the website was halfway done. And I paid about $2,000. So I basically was paying money every week, right? So it was about after about 4 weeks. 4 weeks, yeah, I say about 6-7 weeks. I paid like $2,000 to get this dating website done. It was half done, and all of a sudden, the guy that was doing the code for the website, he just stopped all of a sudden, right? So I'm like, yo, what's going on, whatever. So the dude was like, sent me an email saying that he couldn't do it no more. He got to get somebody else to do the shit. So a couple of days go by, I sent him another email. I'm like, hey, what's up? You found anybody? So the dude, his account was on probation for whatever reason. I don't know what happened. So he said he had another account. So he linked his second account to the project that I had. And another day goes by, and all of a sudden he canceled the whole project on the website. So now I paid $2,000, over $2,000, and the website is half done. And at the time, I didn't know how to write no code at all. I didn't know how to write HTML code, none of that shit. So I'm like, I just spent over $2,000 for this shit that's half done, and I don't know what to do with this shit. So I just I just took the loss, man. I didn't really know what to do. So I've heard a lot of horror stories, man. Because what happens is there's a language barrier there. That's one of the main problems, man. When you get stuff done like that, you're gonna have to go to some place, talk to somebody that's from the Philippines. In the Philippines, they speak English better than we do. To be honest, you know, you need to either talk to somebody in person or talk to someone that you can talk to like on Skype or something like that. You know, because these other countries, man, if English is not the first language, it's gonna be a language barrier. It's gonna be a communication problem. Yeah, I wouldn't use Fiverr for a website. No serious website anyway. No massive website. I wouldn't use Fiverr. But we had a language barrier and that shit was hell getting. Yeah, it's a language barrier. Apple Mac, it's like, I mean, I didn't know that shit. I wish I knew that shit, back then. Yep, I had a dating site too. Actually, an escort site. Man, they kept fucking up. How'd you start an escort site? You had the girls? And where'd you find the girls at? Oh man. Man, you wild, man. you know, that shit is big in Cali. Oh yeah, I know it's big in Cali. Big in New York too. Especially in California. You know. I know it. I know an escort. They live in New York. She better. She got to get out of that. She got to get out of that life. She ain't gonna really make it too long. She ain't. She don't look as good as she used to look. So she got to really transition and get up out of there. You know. One thing, man. If you're in the sex industry or escort or that type of deal, you can't do that shit forever. Just like a stripper, you can't do that shit forever. You're gonna have to transition and get out of that shit after a while. A lot of women get, I don't know, they don't really be thinking like that. Some do, but most of them don't. You know, you can't keep doing that shit forever. They're making over $1 million a month. Damn, that's some damn. That's like the Bunny Ranch. That that's Bunny Ranch style. Yeah, in California, I can see that, the LA area, especially, and in the Bay Area, I can see that, how that can pop off easily, man. Because it's so damn expensive in California, man, especially in the LA area, in San Diego, in the Bay Area. God damn. Oh, no, this was in the 90s. Okay. Shit. It's crazy. You know what? Well, you know what's funny? A lot of people don't know, man. It's people in California. They live like they're in a third world country, man. I mean, the poverty in that motherfucker. Whew, man. A lot of people don't know that, man. There's people in the LA area. They're living like they're in a third world country. Yeah, that's good, Apple Mac. But there's a lot of when I went to LA for the first time. I mean, just driving around with different people. Shit, there's some places in LA, man. I'm like, I asked them, we don't even look like we in America. Shit, it's expensive to own a house in LA, man. You can't even buy a house in LA for 200,000-300,000. That's like unheard of. You know, shit. Yeah, I mean the Bay Area is expensive too, man. And it's people that's been living in the Bay Area for 2, 3 generations, man. They had to get up out of there. Once some tech companies came in there, they just cannot afford it because the taxes were so expensive. Yeah, I'm not surprised, man. The taxes went up sky high. I remember people were protesting when I think Twitter or somebody when they first went over there and opened up the offices, and a couple months later, taxes went way up. I think this one lady was saying, man, her taxes was 4,000 a year for her house. She was like, I can't pay that. I'm on a fixed income. Yeah, I mean, you go from you got to think about it. You say you're a 60-year-old lady, and your taxes was probably $500 a year, and all of a sudden it's 4,000 a year. That's a big jump. On a fixed income, can't afford that shit. She might be able to pay it one time, once or twice, but continuously paying that years later? No. Most people they ain't gonna be able to afford that shit. They'll put their house on the market. Oh, so that's how you did it. Used to con. So most of them girls they took that deal. Okay. So how'd you get your money up front? How'd you get your money? You got your money up front off the site? Did they pay a little bit in advance? And then the girl got what she got when she got up with the guy, or what? How did that work? Oh, you got yours off the site. Okay. Gotcha. How did you promote the site? I'm just curious. I know there's a lot of ways to go about doing that. You could go and print, or you can go online. They paid for they paid for advertising. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of ways to do that today, man. Much easier, much easier today than back in the day, for sure. I actually think, I actually think offline is much easier to promote damn near anything. I think online is, it can be difficult for some people if you're not a techie person. You know, that's what I think. But you got some people, they'll pay people to do it, but I mean, you don't even know if you don't even know if they're doing it right. So that's a tricky game. So technology just it's changed everything, man. Really, it's going to continue to be this way. I'm afraid to break it to you. A lot of people don't want things to change, but it's going to change whether you like it or not. So if you don't change, you're going to get left behind. And that's just what it is. you know? P.S. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed to my new channel, the Day Job Bailout Plan, go over there and subscribe. And you know, just check it out, man. Over there, I talk about jobs, earning extra money, and strategy, business strategies. That's what I talk about over there. Offline is too many problems. Well, it can be. It can be. But offline is simple. You have paper. You have magazine. You have pictures, images. Give me an example. What you mean when you say too many problems? Online can be problems too. But offline is simple. We have paper. We have words, images, pictures, newspaper, magazine, banners. It's just simple. Online, oh my goodness. There's all kinds of shit going on online. Now, some people will say online is faster. That's true. It is faster. You can test a lot of stuff out much faster. But offline, it can be much more expensive. But online can be expensive too. So I don't know, man. You know, people, everyone has their own unique perspective, I think. Yeah. So you said, are you gonna get white girls to advertise who's scared of black guys or who their pimp told not to mess with black guys? Offline in person if you left. Well, that's a dilemma. You know, that's a dilemma. If there's pros and cons in any, there's pros and cons in that world, I would say. Actually, that's one of the reasons why I would never partake in that field. That's one of the main reasons why I wouldn't. Well, see, this is how I see it. This is how I see it. Whatever I get involved with, I like it to be simple. I don't like it to be complicated. Because what I've found is anything that involves, you know, why I tell the girl not to date, right? Because we got the gift of gab. We can talk that talk. What I found, man, anything that's complicated, you know, it's usually, it usually doesn't work out that well in the long term. That's my experience. You know what? They're jealous, scared. They're gonna take the girls. No, they're not afraid you're gonna take the girls. No, they're afraid. They think that we got the gift of gab, and they're afraid. They're thinking that we're gonna try to talk her way out of them draws. That's what that's about. Which is true. It's true. I'm talking for mine. I'm trying to talk for mine. So that's true. That might be a stereotype, somewhat of a stereotype, but it's true. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'll take that stereotype on any day. I got the gift again. I'm trying to talk that talk. you got. It's good to have the charm and the charisma. Women, they like it. Well, actually, no, they love it. Well, hey, it is what it is. And plus, the pimp, he wants things to be simple. He doesn't really want it to be so much talking or negotiation going on. You know, things have to be simple, like 1, 2, 3 step. If there's more than 5 steps in any sequence, that's when it's just not going to work out. Think about that. 3 to 4 steps tops. If it's more than 5 steps in any altercation, any description, that's when it's going to get complicated. Exactly, Apple Mac. Like I said, we got the gift of gab. That's basically you basically said the same thing I said in so many different words. I met a pimp in Hawaii for the first time. This is back in 1998. I met a pimp in Hawaii for the first time. I didn't even know he was a pimp. I didn't even know. You know, I was talking to one of his girls on the sidewalk. I thought she was just a regular girl. I didn't know. You know, I didn't really know. I think at the time I didn't even know a pimp exists. I didn't know. I didn't even know that shit. I didn't know that was a lifestyle. I didn't even know that shit until I started talking to this girl, and she told me she was working. Now I was working doing what? And then she told me, she said, "Oh, I'm a sex worker." I said, "Oh." Once in person. You saw Fillmore Slim in person? He's a pretty cool dude. He's an older guy. He got to be 80-something years old. Yeah. But I met this guy. He was a pimp. He was pretty cool though. That's the thing. It was pretty cool. And see, at the time, I didn't know what a pimp was until years later. I met another pimp. But even after years later, just like it's like 2000, early 2000s. Once I met another pimp and I got to know him real well. And that's when I really knew what the pimp game was all about. And then I remember that I met that guy back in Hawaii, and I was like, oh, that dude, he was a real deal. But there's a lot of perpetrating pimps out here too now. A lot of these guys don't know if they want to be killers or pimps. I didn't talk to him. He just walked past this club I was by. Oh, okay. He just walked by him. So how did you know it was him? Yeah, I heard I heard he's doing music again. He's doing music now. He got out, he went to jail, did a little time, and got out and got back into music. Man, he's an old dude, man. He's old as dirt. Shit. Oh, you see him on documentaries. Gotcha. You know what's funny? A lot of them guys that was in the documentaries, most of them guys got locked up afterwards. That's fucked up. Most of them guys got locked up, man. Most of them guys did time. So maybe that wasn't a good idea. Putting themselves out there like that. He might be. But last I checked, he got into music once he got out. No, he was an older guy anyway. This is early 2000s. He was already like late 70s, like early 2000s. So if he's still living, he's like 80 something. Yeah, exactly. That they put themselves out there and you know in the wrong way, basically. Who? Oh, you talking about uh greens for the money and gold for the honey? Yeah, he's. I don't know if but he been quiet. Bishop Don Juan. I thought he's a preacher. He's a preacher. I don't think he's pimping no more. Yeah, he's a preacher. Yeah. He been quit, man. Yeah, these guys, he's an old guy now, man. That guys, they can't. I mean, he still got women though, but When it falls pimping, it's too old, man. You can't. That's another. You can't keep doing that shit forever. That's another thing, man. You can't keep. When it comes to the sex industry or whatever, whether you stripper or escort, prostitute, pimp, whatever, you can't keep doing that shit forever. You got to transition out of that shit eventually. But unfortunately, a lot of people, they wait too late. Pimp by Iceberg. I got it, man, but I ain't read it yet. It's pretty good, I heard, man. I ain't read it yet, though. You read it? Why did it blow your mind? You didn't know that type of shit happens with women, or you didn't? You were surprised that about Iceberg? How, man? Not read. Why not? Some of the stuff that's probably in that book, I've had probably more than likely I have the same experience. That's why I wanted to read it. That's why I bought it. Basically, that shit will fuck you up mentally. No, I doubt it. I doubt it. At this point, I don't think anything will fuck me up mentally. Well, yeah, it's good. It's good. There's no such thing as too good. Shit, if it's good, it's good. Yeah, man, I bought the book, man. I just haven't gotten to it yet. I got so many books, man. I just haven't gotten to it yet. I'll get to it eventually, though. You know. But yeah, man. I heard about it, man. I think a lot of guys I knew that read it, they said what blew them away is they couldn't believe that Fillmore, no, not Fillmore. They couldn't believe that uh Iceberg lived the life he lived and some of the stuff he did. A lot of guys, it was hard for them to accept. That's the thing that blew a lot of guys away. Dude, I thought about doing that shit 100 times. Now, now that's the thing. You can't really. It's hard to duplicate what another man did. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not him. The best you can do is work on yourself. And maybe you'll be able to do some of the shit that they did. But you have to understand that this is a different time. Back then was a different time. And he's a different guy than you. So it's really hard to duplicate what another man did. You're not him. It don't really work like that. You read it like 200, 300 times. God damn. So you know all the words. Shit. Yeah. Now, mostly the books that I read, well, almost every book that I read, I just want to know the possibilities. That's the whole idea of me reading the book. What are the possibilities? What's been your experience? What you learned? How'd you do it? And I'm going to take that and I'm going to run with it. Yeah. If you do at least 10% of that shit he did, that's great. If you do 20% of that, what he did, that's excellent. But most guys are not going to be able to pull that shit off. I'm telling you. It's just there's a lot of things that comes along with doing what he did. It was the environment, who he was, his charm, charisma, all of that stuff. Well, a nightclub is a good place to do that, Apple Mac. To be honest, nightclubs, the churches. I'm just saying, the churches are probably better than the nightclubs. A lot of people ain't gonna like that, but that's the truth. On the street. Oh, you can see. I misread that. Well, yeah, street. Well, yeah, but the church is better than that than the street, man. Believe it or not, think about it. Think about a lot of these women that go to church. Think about it. I mean, they already want to be a part of something anyway. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, let me tell you, if you want to start a movement, or if you want to really do something on a massive level, run it by the church. I'm telling you, run it by the church. Run it by them church folks. If they think it's a good idea, they'll support it. And they'll have everybody doing it. I mean, of course, it has to be some legitimate shit now. Something that they wouldn't be ashamed of. But I'm telling you, why do you think a lot of business people are members of churches, mega churches? That ain't by accident. I mean, think about any business person that's online that you know of, that you follow, or even offline that you know of. He's a well-respected guy in the city or in the town or in your neighborhood. All of them that they are members of these massive churches, mega churches. There's a reason for that. That ain't by accident. They donate money, give tithes, all that shit. They give millions of dollars. Some of these guys give millions of dollars a year to a lot of these churches. There's a method to the madness. Yeah. Apple Mac. Yeah, a lot of shit. I was like that when I was in my early 30s. A lot of shit I used to just try it, just see what women would say. And I was kind of shocked. I'm like, oh shit. Sometimes I was just bullshitting. I wasn't even serious. So yeah, that it happens. It happens, man. Sometimes you might underestimate yourself. That happens. It happens to everybody. Yeah. Yeah, I was serious too. But at the same time, I was just testing some shit out just to see how far I could go with it. Yeah, I remember one time, man, I had I had a girlfriend, right? And her girlfriend, one of her girlfriends used to come over all the time. And she was married, right? And when I say she used to come over all the time, I mean all the time. I mean all the time. I'm talking like every other day. And when she used to come over, she used to stay for hours. So she would come over like after work and leave like 2, 3 in the morning. And sometimes she'll stay until the next day. She'll leave like 8, 9 in the morning and go home or whatever. So I got tired of her coming over, basically. So I'm like, damn, she overstaying her welcome. So what I did is I started fucking with her. I started flirting with her. I was grabbing her by the arm, or when she used to come over. No, she wasn't homeless. No, she wasn't homeless at all. I went to her house. I went to their house a couple times. I met her husband and everything. So what it was is she was bored, and she just didn't like staying home with her husband because she got married to him for basically he was a good provider. That's the only reason she got married to him. She wasn't really into him, basically. So that's why she used to always like staying on the go because she was bored. So what I did, I started flirting with her. When she used to come over, I used to go give her a hug almost every time, grab her by the arm, basically I did everything. I never grabbed her ass. I never did that because I didn't make it so obvious. Because I looked at it, if I made it so obvious, then she could come back and be like, "Hey, I ain't like that." You know what I'm saying? So I didn't push the envelope too far. So what I did, I figured out that she wanted to have a threesome with us. I figured that out because she made a move on my girl, on the couch. She did the couch thing. Kept getting closer and closer to her on the couch, and she kind of my girl kind of blew her off, and then she just didn't sit close to her anymore. So what I did one day, I was like, of course I brought it to her attention. I said, "Hey, what was that about?" or whatever. What she was trying to do. She trying to make a move on you, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of laughed it off. And she was in denial, kind of, about the situation, but I saw it for what it was, you know. So what happened is she came over another time, and they were cooking something in the kitchen. I don't know what they were cooking, but she was in the kitchen stirring up the frying pan with something. And what happened is it was 3 people at the dinner table. They were talking. They were distracted. So it was just me and her in the kitchen at the time. So she was stirring up the frying pan, and I went behind her, and I put my chin on her uh, shoulder, and I was behind her, and I wrapped my hand around her stomach, and she did not have a problem with that. And that told me a lot about her that day. She didn't have a problem with it at all. She didn't say stop. She didn't say move. Her body language, the body never lies. The body never lies. You might say one thing, you might lie about something, you might try to say things to manipulate the situation, but the body never lies. Remember that. The body never lies. She didn't have a problem with it. She didn't move. She didn't say stop. She didn't say, she never said anything about the situation that was negative at all. So, hey, you just never know until you try. So, hey, once again, man, if you haven't subscribed to my new channel, the Day Job Bailout Plan, go and do that right now. And I'm going to sign off. So, hey, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, share it with any and everybody that you know that would like this information in this video. Check out my website, chooseyourrelationships.com. Over there, that's where you get all the gear. Peace out, Jack. That's where you get all the gear, the books, all that good stuff. All right, Apple Mac, peace out. All that good stuff, and subscribe to my email list when you go on. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.